Andy?
Oscar, tell me about your co-star, Oscar Isaac. You have many, many scenes with him, mostly through. But what's he like? Do you understand the hype around him? Like, how is he?
You know who really was my co-star throughout this whole thing was my brother. So I had my brother come out. He's my brother, Michael Hernandez. He's an actor as well, and I had him either play Steven or Mark, depending on the scene. It's the closest thing to me there is my little bro. So that was actually fantastic to have him there in my corner to be able to work with.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so fun. I'm so glad that it was another Isaac in there. That's so cool. I gotta ask, how confused were you after reading episode 1? Because that one, it's not like your typical origin story. We're thrown right in there with him and trying to figure it out as we go. How confused were you reading the scripts?
Well, yeah. So when I was approached by Kevin, I had one of the early drafts of 1 and of 5, and a lot. Jeremy Slater and the writers, they had cracked the story. They created the structure of it, and that's what we inherited. And it was a bit confusing, but also it wasn't clear. The characterizations, weren't really there on the page yet, obviously. So it was about finding my way in, not so much from a plot standpoint, but really from a character standpoint. And once I got a hit on Stephen and had a take on him, and I brought that to Kevin, and they were willing to go with it, even though it was a big swing, making him English, which is not how he was written, and making him, maybe slightly on the spectrum, and just this very specific character. Then it really, I don't know, at that point, it really felt like we were making a story that was a point of view. You are in the skin of the character and you're seeing things happen the way he's seeing it happen. And so then the confusion, on the outside, it's confusing, but emotionally it's making sense because you're with him. And I think that was the big challenge. It's like, all this stuff's not going to make sense. If you're not with the character emotionally, then it's going to just be a bunch of gobbledygook. But if you can really get the audience empathizing with them and feeling like they're on the same journey, then we're able to go as wild as we want.
Absolutely. Well, Oscar, we got to talk. I mean, there's going to be so many memes that come out of it, just from like you clutching the heart box of chocolates alone. There's going to be so many memes that come out of these episodes. What do you hope they're used for? I mean, what would you ideally like to see these shots?
I just hope that they're not used for evil. I just don't want them used for evil. I want them used for good.
I think they will be. They are excellent memes. I do have to ask, do you have a favorite between the two, between Steven and Mark? Do you have a favorite that you preferred playing?
Yeah, Steven. I mean, I love playing Steven. I mean, yeah, it's like, I just love playing Steven. He's just such a sincere, beautiful soul. And I miss him. I like to imagine him just wandering around in the world somewhere.
Well, I also, before I go, I want to ask about episode 4. We have seen the first 4 episodes. Huge cliffhanger on episode 4. I felt like I was having a psychotic break. Obviously, without giving anything away, what can you tease there? What should we expect? How confused should we be?
Well, yes, I think it feels like, I imagine people will feel like once they're finally starting to get a handle on what is happening, the whole rug gets just yanked from under everyone and we're thrown into a whole different scenario. And that's very exciting. And I feel for you that you're going to have to wait a month to find out what happens.
I'm really going to struggle with it. Oscar, thank you so much for taking the time today. I can't wait to see more. And I'm so excited that you are part of the MCU now. Thank you so much.